They were the first African-American military aviators in the United States Armed Forces. Despite being subject to racial segregation and discrimination both inside and outside of the Army, they hold a distinguished record for their excellent combat record during World War II. There is no doubt that the Tuskegee Airmen played a pivotal role in history.
Oh yeah, and it's an important one to remember, especially when the name doesn't just refer to the pilots, but the navigators, the bombardiers, mechanics, cooks, nurses, and so much more that earned them the stellar reputation they now hold. And there are plenty of standout stories that honor this group. Here to tell us how to hear those stories is Tom Summers. He is the executive director of the Milford Museum. Thanks for being here this afternoon.
Well, thank you for having me this afternoon.
Yeah.
So before we get into the Tuskegee Airmen, can you tell me a little bit more about the Milford Museum?
Sure. The Milford Museum is located in downtown Milford. We're located in the old post office downtown, which was built about 1910. And we're actually getting ready for a move to the former police station, which is right across the street from the new police station. And that should be taking place probably in late spring. That's going to give us a lot more room. We still won't be able to hold our programs there because our programs, the series itself has been very, very successful. And we're getting a lot of folks coming out for that. So we still won't be able to have them in the museum, but we've got a great collaboration with the library, and they're happy to have us there.
Great problem to have.
Yeah, great problem to have.
Yeah. So February is Black History Month.
Yes.
We stop by and visit. What are we going to see about the Tuskegee Airmen?
Okay, well, the program itself is February the 8th, which is a Saturday. It'll be 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's free at the Milford Public Library. And Andre Swaggart is going to be coming in and doing the program, and he is actually, his whole career has been in aerospace engineering as well as defense. Yeah. So he, in his retirement, he's actually done a lot of research on African American history, including the Tuskegee Airmen. So he's going to come in and speaking about the Tuskegee Airmen themselves, as well as the challenges they had in society and the challenges they had within the military as well. And there were a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
And we might know who introduces him. Our own Kirsten Clark is going to be making the introduction.
Yeah, Kirsten has been up to the Milford Museum several times, and I've worked with her on the project she did last year for African American History Month. And I thought she'd be a great person to introduce this program, so I gave her a call. I wasn't sure if contractually she'd be allowed to do it, but she said, no, it's no problem. So she's going to come up and do the introduction, Mr. Swaggart.
Awesome.
This is really an important presentation, the Tuskegee Airmen. Why, in your opinion, do you think folks need to learn more about this heroic group?
Well, you've heard about the Tuskegee Airmen. You've heard the name before, and maybe you've seen the movie Red Tails and everything. But people need to know actually what happened and the challenges they had. You got to remember they're fighting for a country which they're basically second-class citizens, yet they're still fighting and dying for that same country. And that's something you always have to keep in mind. And I think there's a lot more to learn about African American history as well. I mean, we did a program last year about the 6888, and I believe that speaker came down and spoke to you. Well, and I didn't know anything about that group, and it was the women's group, the African American women's group, who actually delivered the mail. Yeah. And anybody that served in the military, maybe before email, knows how important it is, mail call. And they were able to do that, and of course now they've made a movie about it. So this is just kind of another African American program which really shows another aspect of the history, which a lot of people don't know a lot about. They've heard about it, but they don't know the actual history.
Right.
Good way to find out. Okay, so February is Black History Month. Have you got like monthly plans going out?
We do. We have a program just about every second Saturday of the month. Next month we're doing the Secret Rosies, which are the women who actually worked behind the scenes in World War II. And then following that, we're doing a program about the last hours of Lincoln.
Oh my.
And Kathy Canavan, whose husband used to write for the News Journal, she's a writer herself. She's coming, and it's a fascinating program. One of the tidbits I always remember that I've seen her do this program before is that the family across the street from the theater where they took Lincoln afterwards actually sent an invoice to the federal government asking to be reimbursed for the sheets that they used for Lincoln that night. I see your mouth dropping, so it's really, she has a lot of tidbits that she shares about Lincoln's last hours, which I think are very important. We're also doing one on the Nanaco tribe coming up. We're also doing one on Pickett's Charge in July.
Oh my.
Local subjects, we're doing one on canning in Lower Delaware, and so we think that'll be an interesting program for a lot of folks. So we're trying to mix it up, national issues, local issues, things like that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, back to the Tuskegee Airmen presentation. When and where is it?
It'll be February the 8th, which is a Saturday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It is free, and it'll be at the Milford Public Library, downtown Milford.
And do you need to pre-register or anything?
You do not.
Just show up.
Show up, yes.
How wonderful.
We think we'll have a big crowd, so come early.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Tom Summers.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
Love
you.
to talk to you.
Thank you.